subject is self-doubt takes you away from your goal. Is that the title?
Self-doubt stops us from from growing spiritually.
Oh, same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, okay,
Thank you.
So it stops you from growing spiritually. So self-doubt. Everybody's here because you know your spirit. You know all that already. What stops us from getting there to that point where we become free? What stops us is all the doubts that come in between. And they come from yourself. They don't come from anywhere else. And this is what we do with ourselves. We know the feeling, we feel it, there's a connection. And then maybe the next day, something on the physical plane happens, disturbs your peace, and then all the doubts come running in. And when the doubts come running in, the first thing we do as spiritual people is kind of like we back off from the spiritual practice. We back off. Because we're questioning and we don't want to question and we don't want to see ourselves. So we back off from the people that maybe we need, the energy we need. And we move away from the energy we need and we become isolated. Or you have the people that when they forget that they are spirit because something has disturbed their mind so much, they throw themselves back into the material world. But that never works for them, because once you found it, you can't. You all know the feeling. Even if you want to throw yourself back into your old life, you cannot. You can no longer do it. So it's kind of a feeling of being caught into worlds, into dimensions, and this really creates a lot of unnecessary wastage of time in your spiritual growth. So what do you do when you are in this state of self-doubt? What do you do? We say in yoga, Sri Patanjali again, study of spiritual books. Map the life of great masters. When I went through my first 5 years on my own, I was really in much doubt, because you doubt. The very first year, let me give you an example. When Gurudev came in 1987 or whenever it was, and when I realized he was going to be my guru, my spiritual master, the moment I realized it, within 6 months, there was one of his old disciples started to send all these emails out to everybody on the emailing list of Integral Yoga. Everybody all over the world. And this disciple was an old secretary of his 20 years prior. Anyway, she sent out this email defaming him, saying that he had an affair with her and saying that she had given him $20,000 and now she wanted the $20,000 back. And he didn't have it to give it back to her. He said, but he didn't want to. So all these letters came, and so many disciples were very, very disturbed. And so was I. I said, oh my God, is there any truth? Because you hear all these stories from other masters and you go, oh no. But something in my soul, even though the doubts came in, something in my soul said, I can't trust anyone. I'll call the master himself. So I called him up. I actually said, I need to speak to him personally. Because you speak to anybody else, guess what happens? You get their perception of the story. So always when you doubt anything in your life, even this in ordinary life, I have learned with people you know, with your friends, if you hear stories that are not very nice, please confront them directly. Always directly, but in a loving way. So I called him, I said, Gurudev, I'm very troubled. Truthfully. Why, Nalanie, are you so troubled? I said, because I'm reading all this stuff about you, and it's been sent to so many thousands of people, and people are writing me also, and I'm deeply, deeply troubled, and I don't know. It's a mixture of, I totally believe in you, and a mixture of doubt, and I don't know what to do with myself, And he said to me, oh, don't worry, darling. He said, all this has happened for a very good reason. Don't you know God is testing me? That's all that is happening. And if people want to believe me, great. And if they don't want to believe me, it is also okay because they can leave. I'm holding nobody back in the ashram. So, and he said, you know what I have done? Because it was out in American press and everything. I've invited all the reporters to come here, question everybody from the same era of discipleship as this woman. They're welcome to look at all my photographs, all my things. So he said they came, they found nothing, and they left. And he said, and I said, Gurudev, but that makes me really angry because, you know, this was not a nice thing to do because it disturbed so many minds and put so many doubts in so many disciples. And then he said to me, if I am not angry, why are you angry for me? He said, didn't even Lord Jesus say, you know, you have to separate the wheat from the chaff? All that is happening, that people who don't really believe in the path will leave. And now we will have people here who are strong and who really believe in the path, and they will stay. And because they stay, they will give people this space. So what did this doubt do for me, and what did this situation do for me? It made me realize that if I hadn't called him alone, I probably would have been disturbed for called him directly, I probably would have been disturbed for a long time. So in life, in your spiritual journey through life, because you all already know you are spiritual, when these doubts come up in you, face them. Look at yourself. They happen to all the greatest leaders. They happen to all the greatest masters. Do you know what? When you come on the spiritual path, your ego will be tested again and again and again and again. Again and again, to make sure you lose all your egoism and your pride. I brought a lovely little something that I just picked up. Somebody gave me this book and I never read it, and I picked it up last night. And I thought, I'm going to read this to them. This is a book on Radha. She was Swami Shivananda's, one of his greatest disciples. And how did she meet Swami Shivananda? Swami Shivananda is this one, Guru of our Guru. She was in Canada. And when she was in Canada, she kept on having visions of him. Visions of Master Shivananda ever since she was a young girl. Her mother said she was always strange. It's kind of like Mataji. Some of you met Mataji, 86-year-old woman. You haven't met her, but she came a few weeks back. She had a vision of our master when she was 7 years old. And she had a vision of him at the time she would meet him, and he was only 10 years older than her. So this is quite incredible. When she met him, she was much older and he was 10 years older. But she saw him that age when she was 7 years old, right? And she was a Catholic nun on top of it. And she felt she needed more. She needed more. So she left the nunnery very lovingly, with so much love in her heart, because she loved her religion. But she just wanted more. And she said, I saw this man when I was 7 years old. So this Radha, Swami Radha, is the same thing. I mean, her name later on was Swami Radha Shivananda. Well, I'll let you know when I read the book. So anyway, so she had this in Canada. And then she decided, I'm going to write to him. So she started writing to him. And he wrote a few letters back to her. And he said, why don't you come home to India? Now, in those days, in 1951, going to India, not an easy place. Not an easy place to travel to. So she went, and he said, I will have somebody at the airport to greet you. So she gets to Delhi, and the first thing that happens to her, guess what? There's nobody there at the airport. She doesn't have much money. And then some European noticed, she's not Indian, He said, look, by the way, it's quite dangerous to be on your own, a woman in India. So he guides her to which hotel to stay in. So she gets to a hotel and she goes, why has this happened? Why has this happened? Why hasn't my master come to me? I've been communicating with him for so many years, and why has this happened? Anyway, she maps out, because I just read a few pages last night. But you see, there was doubts. But at the same time, there was this inner voice saying, you have to go there. You have to go there. So she doesn't know how to get to Rishikesh, how to get to the Divine Life Society. But again, and she has no Indian clothes. So again, the hotel manager felt sorry for her, takes her to a little shop where bargains for her. She buys 3 saris. And then she goes back to the hotel, says she doesn't have much money. Then he takes her to the train station, which takes her to Rishikesh. So you see, everywhere she was given guidance, not by the guru himself in a physical form, but in the energy of the guru within all of us. We all have that. We connect with the source. That's what the guru means remover of darkness. What Master Shivananda did for her was to show her her own light. And then they're guided by all these angels along the way. And let me tell you, when you go on your spiritual path, you will have lots of obstacles. And I'll tell you about my trip to America the first time as well, to see Swami Satchidananda. I had one obstacle after another, you know. And it's that way. It's not easy, you know, to get to the source of light. And the doubts come in. So anyway, she finally got to Rishikesh. And then, you know, she sees this big man. And she says she felt like she'd known him all her life. But still, you go to a place like India. In 1951, hotbeds, bugs everywhere, unsanitary, dirty. And she stays there and she finally starts to get used to it all. And then one day he tells her this, and I'd like to read it to you. It goes, just when I began to feel that I am on the right track, Gurudev shatters my complacency. This morning he started a conversation with, you can do some work for me in Canada. I stared at him. You don't want me here? I want you, but I want you to go to America. Over there you can be greater service to me. But I don't understand, Gurudev. What do you want me to do? Start an ashram or school for the divine teachings of yoga and Vedanta? I couldn't believe my ears. I have nothing to give. I don't know Sanskrit. I've read the Gita but not studied it. I don't know Vedanta. What do I know? I would be the blind leading the blind. Suppose on the hill lies a man nearly dying of thirst. You sit here on the Ganges with all the water in front of you. Would you deny him a cup of water because you cannot bring him the whole Ganges or explain to him its chemical content? Do you see that? Would you deny it? Then go back to Canada and help the people. Gradually, your work will spread. Go also to America. Travel about. Give classes in Hatha Yoga. Teach pranayama. Pray. Meditate together. Help people to live a divine life. Inspire people to sing the Lord's name. Do it with your whole heart, and all will benefit. Tomorrow, I will give you mantra initiation for yourself and also to give to others. There will be a band of fine young men who will help you establish an ashram, and you will have to learn to extract work from them. Immediately, she says, my pride reared up and I blurted out, I don't like to say thank you. I'd rather do things myself. That's her pride. She'd rather do things herself. Gurudev looked amused at the quick response, which gave me away, and then he said, would you rather have people paying off their karma through pain? Hard work is the easiest way to pay off karma. So what I'm showing you is our doubt is many of the times that we are not good enough. We are not good enough. But like he said, would you deny somebody if you're right next to a whole river, would you deny somebody a glass of water? You wouldn't. So just because you don't have the whole thing. So This is where self-doubt stops us. It's like, oh my God, I know so little, so maybe I can't do this. We're scared to approach the light within. Lord Jesus said it, do not hide your light, what? Under the bushel. And we're so scared to be that light. So we live in doubt. And while you are living in doubt, you cannot connect with that energy. And this her connection with the Master helped, because I always say that without my Gurudev, I don't know where I would have been, because it's kind of like a higher vibration, but you need that to step up. To step up to your spirit, you need that vibration. And when you're in that vibration, you get all the communication you need. It doesn't come like direct, it's through angels. I often give the story of this, and I maybe have told you this story. Never doubt where you are in life. You are in life for a certain reason. Where you are for a certain reason. Don't be afraid of where you are now. And I'll give you a story of this. I was in Hong Kong, and some of you know this story. And I was giving a talk. There's 120 people in the audience that day. When I finish, one young girl comes up to me and she goes, thank you for saving my life. And I go, I have never done anything. I'm sure I haven't met her. How could I save her life if I haven't met her? So I go, I think you're talking about the wrong person. I don't believe I've met you before. She said, no, but I have met you. How? And she goes, well, I know your niece. I have a friend who knows your niece, Minal. Oh, and Minal told my friend to tell me to listen to you. Well, on the day that I was about to commit suicide, I wanted to end my life, your tape came to me. In those days was still tapes, right? It was a cassette or CD. I don't know, you guys did it. It was cassette. So I go, really? She said, yes, it came from you. I said, well, I don't think it came from me. I sit and talk. And then it was a young girl called Susan Roberts from the States, who was at our center in Gibraltar in those days, who did the taping, who then gave it to Shanti, who knows Minal, who Minal calls. So without Shanti, without Susan, without the friend, she would have never got the tape. So who actually gave the tape to her? Do you see what I'm saying? I just did the talking, but there was a higher power that used all of us. Not only that, look at the timing. Look at the timing, just in time. How does that work? So I said, if you ever have doubt, and I actually told her that. And she said, oh my God, it's true. I said, lose one link in that chain, you wouldn't have gotten it. And it also made me realize how each one of us is so important. So how can I be better than her? Do you know, it's not possible. Her job, she may think she's my secretary, and Susan may think she's just doing the what you call it, and Les is just recording this. But he puts it on the video, people see it, and then people call me and thank me, and she puts it out, and I go, but I really just talked. All these links happen on their own. And so I realized at that time, how important everybody on the spiritual path is. Everybody. And that's why we speak about karma yoga now with the new TTs. They're all doing karma yoga. How everybody is helping on that journey. Because each one, okay, maybe she wasn't born to be in public, speak in public, but now she is, But you can be doing other things that save people. So whenever people tell me, oh, Nalanie, I don't know, I'm not good enough. I said, you don't know how much you do for other people in the world every single day. Just be conscious of it. Because it's not you. We're instruments, right? We're instruments. If you can just remember, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Constantly, this is the daily practice. Who am I? Everybody who's gone to the spiritual path has always had doubts. But the moment you question life, the moment you have a bit of intelligence, You have to question life. I'd like to read to you something by Eknath Eshwan as well. I love this author. The Upanishads are old Vedas, right? From the beginning of time. But his translation of them is so brilliant for our century. Really so brilliant. If you can get it, I'd love you to get this copy of this book. You know, it's not a book you read, it's one you pick up from time to time. And his journey is the same. Everybody, we all start the same way. We ask questions. He goes. Okay, so have I lost the page? Here. You see, he's looking. I don't want you to read you. Okay, here it goes. He's looking for these questions. He's trying to find himself. He is a literature professor in a university. And he's looking for something. Well, I'll read it to you. How could I tell a distinguished professor that I was searching for a meaning in life? I gave him a conspiratorial wink and replied simply, I'm looking for something big. But nothing I found appeased the hunger in my heart. About this time, I no longer remember how, I came across a copy of the Upanishads. I hadn't known they existed, of course, but it never occurred even to me to look into them. My field was Victorian literature. I expected no more relevance from 4,000-year-old texts. I thought it would be like Alice in Wonderland. It started with this. Take the example of a man who has everything. I read with a start of recognition. Young, healthy, strong, good, cultured, with all the wealth that earth can offer. Let us take this as one measure of joy. The comparison was right from my life. 100 times that joy is the joy of the Gandhavas, but no less joy have those who are illumined. Gandhavas are like spiritual beings, called like angels and spiritual beings. So 100 times that joy is the joy. And that's what he was looking for. He had everything. And that was just a small measure of joy. But there was joy to be known. So much more joy. And he understood it because there was a hunger and thirst like we all have in us. There's a hunger and thirst. And what happens is we get so waylaid. We get so waylaid by our earth. We get so stopped by our doubts. What if I just... How can I mix spirituality with my daily life? We get very confused about this. We think our daily life we have to do something else, and spirit has to be something else. And there's where the doubts, this doesn't go with that. It's all spiritual. There's nothing that is not spirit. First lesson, number 1. Life will throw at you again and again obstacles to make you doubt, to make you fear. This is the obstacles you have to get through. I'm sorry. Every spiritual aspirant has to go through the pain, the suffering, breaking down all your belief system if you want to move forward. If you are in doubt, you cannot move forward. There's no right, there's no wrong. There's all this and this is hard because it makes you doubt. Really? And when you go through this hard process, watching your pride, like even Swami Radha, right? What did she say? I like to do things my way. She didn't have a choice, She did have the ashram. And she has so many followers, and her books are really incredible. Yeah, I think it's Swami Shivananda Radha. That's it. Yeah, she wrote something about chakras that is brilliant as well, I think. She's written a lovely book on mantras. The Power of Mantras. If you can get that book, it's brilliant. You said, Marina, you like mantras? Get that book. The Power of Mantra. Swami Shivananda Radha. So it's an amazing book. So she brought a lot to the Western world. And she said, no, I think I want to do it my way. And a bit hurt that her master was sending her out. But when you go into this world of spirit, you'll be tested a lot. Again, you'll be tested by who do you think she is or he is that he's teaching spiritual things. What do they know? They used to say this about me all the time. She just works in a shop. I was working in a shop, dealt with fashion, high fashion at that, selling garments for £1,000 in those days in 1989. I was selling sequences to people from Marbella because there was nothing here at that time. And what does she know about spirituality? You'll be tested. But that's the journey. That is the journey. And don't worry about it. You don't believe, the door is there. Hold no one. Hold no one, not even yourself. Don't hold yourself. Don't hold on to your pride. Don't hold on to your ego of what you are supposed to appear like. Spirit works in everyone. In a business person, in a massage person, in a person who does catering, and one does real estate, lawyers. I don't know what you do. Well, look at the range of people we have here. Just in this room, designer. Gosha, what is your line of work? Astrology. Design and mother. Marina? Mother? Mother. Yeah, and Shanti?
Well, yoga and real estate.
Servable. She serves everyone. Les, compliance, finance. Compliance, finance. I mean, look at this room. And tell me, do you find more spiritual people want to spend their Tuesday evenings listening to the Spirit? What does it tell you about you? Where are you separate? You are not separate. That is the thing. Don't separate yourself from your life. You are where you are because you need to be there for some reason. Now, what you do is look at where you are and all the obstacles and love those obstacles. Don't stress out about them. That's not what I want to do with my life. Remember, Sri Patanjali, what stops you from reaching the goal? Attachment and aversion. My master put it to me in very simple words. When he said to me, Nalanie, you have to do initiations. And I go, Gurudev, how can I do initiations? I am just a housewife, a yoga teacher, a woman who deals in fashion. Why are you asking me to initiate people? I can't. I've got all the wrong qualifications for this job. And he goes, did I ask you? I can't, he said to me. So much humble humility, you can't. If God asks you, you do. It's not about what you want or what you don't want. Whoa, he was really told me that strong. And that was my lesson. It's not about what I want or what I don't want. And once I did it, I still, every time I initiate, I still feel that little thing, but I go, no, he said he's going to look after me, so I'm not going to worry about it. It's like surrendering yourself, your own self-doubt, your own fear, surrendering. Oh, you told me you'll look after it. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. Do it. But I do it for you, And this is what we all need to get over ourselves. This is the doubt. We need to get over ourselves, our human personality. We think of ourselves a certain way. I have to be like this. Or in order to be spiritual, I have to appear like this. But not anymore. It's not like this anymore. People cannot understand that it has to look like that anymore. We need spirit everywhere. How many people will never get a chance to go to the ashram? How many people will never go to a place to find peace? But they will meet you at your doorstep in a time, and you will be sent, these people, when it is needed. They may even be your own family. And it doesn't matter where. Spirit is everywhere. You don't know why you are where you are. Accept it, love it, and share it. But what people do in their work, oh Nalanie, I can't talk about spirit in my work, why not? But they'll run away. Who's asking to say, oh, you have to read the Yoga Sutras of Sri Patanjali? I'm not asking you to say that. Oh, you have to read the Upanishads. What is spirit? Walk into your office. Walk into your home. What is spirit? You tell me, what is spirit?
No.
Correct. That's exactly what it is. Just walk in with that love and you're already connected. Walk in with trepidation, walk in with doubt, walk in with what will people think about me, and you've lost the journey from the moment you walked into the room. You have forgotten your spirit. You took your spirit out when you went to work. You don't take spirit out of anything. Spirit lives in everything you do. Everything you do. That's why we even pray to the food before we eat, because it's recognizing spirit in the food, recognizing spirit in your neighbor, recognizing spirit everywhere. It's the separation that causes the self-doubt. And then when you're in separation, I don't want to do this and I have to do it. How am I going to make a living? Just stick to what you're doing and practice living in the spirit daily. You will be shown exactly what to do. Hello, sweater. Come in, please. You will be shown. And nothing is too little. And again, being a housewife and a mother, I always say, is one of the most difficult jobs in the world. It is. Anybody who's been a mother or father, you know what I mean. It's not easy. You have to balance. You learn self-sacrifice. You learn to give up everything. It's really not an easy job. But I feel it's a wonderful way to get to the spirit, because your children, your husband, your wife will test you till the end. But they will help you to see beyond comparison. I am better than you, or you are better than me. Yes, maybe you're better at certain things and I'm better at certain things, but this is human qualifications. These are human, and these are human personalities. Yes, of course these things exist. But in spirit, who's better than who? You don't know why you're with a certain person, what they have to teach you, or what you... Really, I think everybody that gives us a hard time are our best teachers. When you learn the lessons well, then you have brilliant teachers. They don't give you hard times anymore. It is like that. It is like that. It becomes so easy after that. It's all this, I don't want. Or I want. Just, learn to say one sentence that I learned so well now. It is what it is. It is what it is. Where do I go from here? And if you're troubled, just pray. Just sit down and pray. Or meditate. Or just look at the beautiful garden. Or just look at the trees. Just do that. That's all you have to do. Just spend 2 minutes with that. And ask yourself, who am I? The first question. Who am I? Who is the one that keeps your heart beating? Do you consciously put it, wind your heart up every day? Who keeps it beating? How come everything is working? Who's making it work? We don't consciously make it work. So who gave this life to you? Who designed you? How come we're all designer pieces? These are the questions you have to ask yourself on a daily basis, otherwise you fall into self-doubt. Because the moment you walk out of these doors, the world becomes extremely material. This is why all the great saints and sages say, keep good company. Be in the company of satsanga. What does that mean? Does it mean it just has to be this? No, we just play together here. But be in the company of people who are like-minded. Because if you are in the company of like-minded people, your soul elevates. You recognize your soul. Then the doubts disappear. When your doubts disappear, it's very easy to find that joy 1,000 times more than that one measure of joy. 1,000. He says 100. I say 1,000. Because you're connected again. And when you're connected, you feel whole again. Why do you feel whole again? Because you know your spirit. You know. So always keep in good company. And Sri Patanjali also tells us what is the first lock and key. Do you remember? Anybody? First lock. Yeah. Good girl. Somebody remembers. Friendliness towards the happy. Be friendly with happy people. Oh no, did you watch the news today? Oh, did you hear about Brussels? And did you hear about this? And did you hear about that? Whoa, by the end of the day, you're exhausted. You're in fear. You're in doubt. You got so involved in the world and everybody's talking about Brussels. And that's exactly how we fall into the trap of gunas. Sri Patanjali again, that's why I love Sri Patanjali. Chapter 16, supreme attachment. Non-attachment is even going beyond the things of the gunas. What do you mean by that? All this is gunas, all this is earth, all this is material. You have to just transcend it. The world has always been the same. I keep saying it again. Look back, I think being alive in World War II is far worse. Sorry. I think that must have been really scary. Scarier than now. Watching so much genocide. I mean, we still see it. But, all these countries in Europe were being invaded and then all the wars. Millions of people died during the war. Was it you who told me 23 million died? Yeah, it was you who told me. We only hear about the 6 million Jews. And he said most of them were Russians, right? Most of them were Russians. How many Russians you were telling me the other day?
I don't remember the statistics, but it was far more than the Jews.
Yeah. So you see, they give us what they want us to hear, but we need to hear the whole picture. And then also, what about all the good stories about all those wonderful people that saved so many lives? Where are those stories today? Like I said, I travel. I meet wonderful people everywhere I go. So I'm going, where's the evil that everybody talks about? Of course you get evil in life. You just don't, these small things, you just don't give it energy. You transcend that. Walk away. Walk away. What does he tell you again in the 4 locks and keys? And good girl. You remembered quickly. Wonderful. Disregard the wicked. Don't give it energy. It's going to be there. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. They're going to be wicked circumstances. They're going to be wicked people. Even friends will do wicked stuff. Don't give it energy because your friends are your friends. They'll be really horrible. And then next day they'll say sorry. Don't give it energy. Oh, she was in a bad mood today. She had a tantrum. Let it go. Tomorrow she'll be fine. You don't take things seriously. Disregard that evil moment. Don't give it energy. Of course, if a person keeps hurting you again and again and again and again and again, and you allow them to, then you're foolish. Because you don't know how to walk away. Because I see that also. How many times we say, oh, he lied to me or she lied to me. How often? Wow. Over 50 times, then you're silly to believe her the 51st time. Why do you do it to yourself? It's all this self-doubt. If you have self-doubt in your regular life, how are you going to have no doubt in your spiritual life? Only by observing the truth. What is the truth? What is the truth? What is the truth? For me, the easiest thing for me is, I'm going to die. Nalanie's going to die. This is going to die. And along with this is Nalanie. So who am I? That's every time in the early days when I got away to the earthly things, especially my first years of travel. Travel on this path. I would get to the material. I'll bring myself back. Who are you? Who are you? This is going to die. So why are you giving this so much importance? Why are you so worried about it? Relax. Enjoy the instrument while you're living. Of course we're human. We're going to have our tantrums. We're going to have our moments. But that's the great thing about being human. But we can control them, contain them, watch them, and that helps us to understand other human beings who go through tough times. Hey guys, we're all human, we're all in the same boat. The secret is let it go quickly. Don't hold on to this anger. Don't hold on to this pain. Don't hold on to your past. It's gone. It's gone. It's your past that keeps you in doubt. It's your fears of the future will keep you in doubt. And again, whenever I used to fear, my father used to tell me say this all the time. He said, whenever you're in fear, especially my first 5 years when I was really practicing on my own, my dad is a very spiritual man. I go, Dad, I'm a little concerned. I don't know where I am. And he goes, say every day, God is with me. There is nothing to fear. God is with me. I am not alone. Oh, nature is me. Life is with me. Love is with me. Whatever you want, choose a word that is comfortable for you. For me, God is very comfortable. To many people today, it isn't. So choose divine consciousness is always with me, or the force is always, but choose it and keep repeating it. And it really made a difference. God is with me, I'm not alone. God is with me, there is nothing to fear. Don't fear the journey. Don't fear losing all those doubts. It's quite nice. Elena recently, can I say, that she was in Brazil and she spent, how long were you there for?
1 month.
1 month in quiet, in meditation. She reached some depths of spirituality that she never experienced before, the quiet, the peace. And then, of course, she has to come back to Marbella. The journey's hard, isn't it? It's hard after you've had all that 1 month. And she realized she needed a little time to go within, to introspect, wisdom. First, of course, the disturbance will come because it's shock from spirit. You have to bring yourself a few degrees down back to living on this earth, really, with people with very mundane thoughts and very materialistic ideas is not easy. You really have to step back. And if you're not prepared, this is when people go crazy, when you're not prepared. So she realized she had to step back and just observe herself, which is wisdom, and let it pass. It's like in a fog. But after the fog, there is a clarity, and you can really travel on that road because you can warn people. When you come to this part of the path and you think you found it all and you have to go back to the world, you've lost it all again. And that's pretty scary. But that's the journey. But you haven't lost it all. You just have much more of it, but it's another dimension. Because you are learning to live with it all with a feeling of non-attachment. That is the difference. But the first feeling of non-attachment is so difficult. I remember, as I think I've told this story to you, my last fashion show was here in Marbella at, where was it? La Zaglietta, right? And Credit Suisse had asked us to, my shop, to, because we had very good clients, and asked me if I could choreograph a show for them, for their clients. So anyway, it was really, should have been the highlight of my career with all the top people there. And I was training all the models. They loved the show. At the end of it, I wasn't excited. Oh, I would say it's very good. Yes. But I wasn't excited about it. In fact, the only thing I was really excited about was actually I had choreographed in that show a song dedicated to God, but nobody knew that except me, and I always told my husband everything, and he thought I was mad anyway. So, and I said it was the song by Bryan Adams, Everything I do it for you. So when all the models came out at the end, because they were wearing beautiful evening gowns, they just went like this, I do it for you. But they didn't know that too, so that was the most exciting thing of the whole show. But nobody knew that. But after that, I felt... you were there?
I was there doing Credit Suisse.
Of course you were there. I forgot.
Amazing,
yes,
amazing show, amazing.
Yes, you were working for Credit Suisse, and I didn't even know you as Shanti then.
No, I wasn't Shanti, I was Susanna then.
Look, I just realized now, after all these years of telling this
It's
story.
amazing.
Yeah. So, and then I went home, and everybody said, wow, aren't you excited? Greta says, would you want to do another one? No. What's happening to me? I wasn't excited at all. It's kind of like your decoration, design. No, I don't want to do this ever again. I'm done. My husband goes, why are you done? You love this stuff. I don't know. I don't know what's happening to me. I really am. But you had such a good, Marbella Times came out with this. And I don't know what I'm feeling. So I thought, this is so odd. So odd. So I called my master. I said, Gurudev, I don't know what's happening to me. I really don't understand what's happening to me. I normally would have been so excited, so happy. Does it mean if you go into spirituality, you lose all your joy? Because if it does, I don't want to be here. And he laughed. And he said to me, Nalanie, don't worry. In 6 months, you will love this feeling of detachment. But when you change from one dimension to the other, it's a little difficult. You have to get used to it. So after that show, there weren't the high highs, but there also weren't the low lows. I used to get low lows after the high highs. That went. But it took 6 months. Literally, he gave me 6 months and it was absolutely spot on. 6 months to get used to this. And it wasn't boring after 6 months. It was so peaceful. It was so peaceful, but my consciousness had to get used to the peace. Being a dramatic person, it was quite difficult. So when you go through the spiritual path, your lessons are really these little things that are the greatest things that happen to you when you go through this detachment, this letting go. It's like all the masters speak about this letting go, and it happens by itself. You can't force it. You can't make it happen. It'll happen at the moment that you don't even believe it's going to happen to you. But it really happens. You just have to be patient with yourself. And then there is a lovely quiet peace amidst all the noise here. Because this will always go. Don't worry too much about the mind stuff. It will always separate yourself from it. I am the witness of my mind, you tell yourself. I am the witness of my mind. So it's going crazy. Okay, it's going crazy. I don't have to connect to it. You can disconnect. Mantra is a great way. That's why I love mantras so much. Because too many thoughts, too much analyzing. Oh my God. Today people analyze their spirituality so much. Why did I do this? What brought me here? Don't analyze. Feel. Let it come up. Let it come up. Let it work with you. Let it smile at you. Let it watch the mind. And don't judge your mind. Okay, you freaked out. It was the mind that freaked out. I didn't. Do you know? And then you bring yourself back to earth again. Yeah, you have to live on this earth, so you have to react to certain things. But don't get attached to your reaction. You let the reaction go. You learn from the reaction. That you are able to let that reaction go is a sign of growth. Because you're detaching from your human personality. That's difficult. Okay, so you will get all these doubts when you're traveling on this path of the soul. It's always going to happen. But what you need to do is strengthen your practice till the doubts never happen again. So when things happen, you just know, this is what it is. All I can do is charge the moment with what? Yes, Michelle, you're getting very clever. You Because you do that. You know that, don't you? Have you seen it recently? That's all you are doing. She comes to our committee. She's joined our committee in Gibraltar. We really needed her. In one meeting, she injects the meeting with love, the missing ingredient, and slashes the egos because it's just love. Oh, I love it.
That's true.
One meeting, walks in with pure love and no ego. Oh my God, thank you. Send me somebody like this. It's a gift. It's a gift. That's why you know the answers, because you live it. Do you see? You don't separate yourself from your work. You don't separate anymore. You've learned to let things go. And this is, and you can see the growth in a person. You can see the demeanor. You can see they just want to suddenly serve. They just want to give. They want to love. Whoa, this flow outburst. Well, mind you, you're crying a lot, right? It's not unusual. Yeah. She's so full of love. Can you feel it? It's a bubble, isn't she? She's like a little... It's just all coming to the surface now, you see? It's been crying for years, but it's been hidden that Michelle has been in here. And now Michelle is coming out as divinity. And that's the difference. Sorry, am I embarrassing you thoroughly? And this is what you see, and it's great because you recognize it, and you see the joy, and you see the flow, and you know, and like I said, it works through all of us. So always when you have self-doubt, what do you bring it back to? What do you bring it back to? What do you bring it back to? Thank you. This moment, now. And if you've blown it this moment, how should you feel about yourself?
Have I blown it?
Yeah, let's say you blow that moment without love and it's anger.
Let it go.
Yeah. Do you forgive yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, don't do it again. Okay? Don't do it again. And recognize it, yeah? It's hard. This is the journey constantly. So you get the love again. And if you do it again, don't worry. But what I see that stops most people, really, is the separation of being who they really are once they're in another group. Yes, we all wear a mask. I went to a lovely 70th birthday party the other night. And I'm not a party girl, by the way, but these are very good friends of ours. And it was a small group of 40 people, and it was a surprise party for her husband. It was on the Sunbourn. First time I've been there. Very pretty. I didn't know how pretty it was. Lovely. I had a great time, dancing, laughing. I had a ball. And because I was so joyous, all our table, we were all joyous, all bunch of yogis, on our table. We just had good, clean fun. We had such a wonderful evening. And it went like this, It's not that you're going to talk about yoga all the time. We all know it already. We just talked about dancing, delicious food. But it was spiked with spirit, if you know what I mean. Spiked with that joy, spiked with that inner, I'm here and everybody else is divine. It's not separation. So when you're with like-minded people, it's so easy to do. We always say when we have the most fun when we travel with yogis, because everybody's so like-minded and nobody's judging and everybody's light, not heavy. We're light. We are spirit. We made ourselves so heavy. Who wants to be around somebody heavy all the time? Oh my God, if you want to meditate, you have to be like that. Oh, I'm not meditating. I mean, that's the first thing I told my guru at the ashram, my first visit. I saw somebody who'd been meditating for 18 years. And we went to the meditation room, and I just meditated on my own for 5 years. And then I see this fidgeting, irritated, angry, not smiling at anyone, long face walking up. And I asked Gurudev, I said, Gurudev, maybe this is not meant for me. I really don't think this is meant for me. Why, Nalanie? So I went to meditation, And this man been meditating 18 years in your ashram. He told me. He's always angry. Even in the meditation hall, he has an angry face. And Gurudev laughed and laughed. He said, sometimes these ashrams are like hospitals. At least here they do good. So, yeah, and that again taught me a lesson. People are people wherever you go. Ashram, homes, India. You can go to all the pilgrims in the world. You still have to face this. Make this your ashram. Make this your home. Make this your holy place. Make this your God inside. Make this your guru. Take the pilgrimages. They're great fun, but you will not find, or you will find it everywhere, or you will not find it in any one place. If it's in your heart, you will find it everywhere. If it's not here, you will keep looking and you won't find it anywhere. So some people take pilgrimages all their lives and they're more lost after every pilgrimage. So take the pilgrimage inwards to your home, your light. And when you see your light, you see all the lights. So this is don't doubt taking the journey inwards. Please. The problem is people don't want to spend time with themselves. I've been teaching some people for 20 odd years. And only a handful meditate every day. Got one here, you 12 years, every day. You every day. Who else? Lillian every day. Elena every day. But a handful. Good. That's good. Wow, more than a handful. I love this. Keep going. This is, spend time with yourself. Your God is inside. Connect. Don't doubt that. Don't doubt that. It will use you when you connect. It will. You're on the phone line, like I was good at that. What do I do with this? If you don't make the call, will you receive the message? You won't. So you got to make the call. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open to you. You don't ask, you don't get. Ask. Nobody will come to you and tell you have to go here like this. You have to ask. You have to sit. You have to knock on the doors. You have to go through that spiritual process. Nobody can do it for you. But the thing is, you self-doubt. Oh, but it's easy for her because she doesn't have, it's easy for him because he doesn't have to worry about making money. He doesn't have to, it's easy because, no, that's all excuses. Everybody to self-discipline is not easy, but the gift is freedom. The gift is freedom. How much do you want your freedom while you're living on this earth? How much do you want that 100 times of joy than one measure of joy? It's only in the human body you can experience the duality of it. The duality of the relationship, what we call guru-disciple relationship, or a connection with the divine, or yoga. Yoga's chitta vritti nirodha tadad rastue swarupe vastanam. And then the seer abides in its own true nature. The seer, who is the seer? The witness in you. Where is it done? Inside of you. What do you have to watch out for? The mind stuff. What is the mind stuff called? Vrittis. Watch out for those guys there. They don't belong to you. They belong to this world. Because the mind is, why the senses are outwards. What should you do when the senses go outwards and you see you're getting into trouble? What should you do? Bring it in. Pratyahara. Practice sense control. My senses are driving me crazy. I have to hold back now. Because I can't maintain my peace and my stability while I'm going crazy. So I have to hold back. Get back your peace and stability and then go out again. But don't until you get it back. Because if you go out when you're shaking, you'll shake even more. Get your stability. And where's the stability? Where's the stability? doubt. See? That's it. Make it so clear. That's why I keep saying, make it clear. If you see it clearly, you will take that journey very quickly. It's your self-doubt. Trust. Sometimes it takes long. I keep telling you all, I was meditating every day for 5 years, and even then I didn't want to teach. But every day for 5 years. Because I was so happy now. I found my place. I found my balance. So nice to find your balance. Then you can really enjoy the beautiful things of this earth. We can really, when you're balanced, when you're nervous, when you're tense, you look at that garden, you wouldn't even see the colors in it or the flowers in it. You miss out. But if you're peaceful, you will see everything beautiful in it. Do you see? So our job is we can't change anybody else. And we let other people determine our peace or our mind stuff. We really need to go within more. And like my father said to me, God is with me, I'm never alone. God is with me, there's nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear. I just need to get my show going on my journey of the soul. So self-doubt, the doubt in you will never take you there. So trust you, because we all have the same stuff inside, the light. And that needs confidence with humility, not arrogance. Confidence, strength with humility. It doesn't make these weak spiritual people. No, we're strong spiritual people. Not afraid to say the truth. Not afraid to follow the light inside. Your light is in designing. You follow it. May I say, last week she wanted to go, you don't mind about your direction, right? Well, last week she said, she does all these wonderful crochet things. I don't know if you know. Quite an artist, quite amazing. So, and a path led her somewhere else to another, also design. And so I said to her, she said, I don't know what I should do because I had my mind on that one. So I said, where is it flowing? She said, well, this one seems to be coming to me all the time, although I had my mind on this design thing. And I said, how do you feel about it? She said, actually, I love it. And I said, go, follow yourself. Because sometimes you think I have to go this direction, but then the direction comes in the other way. And ask yourself, when the directions come, flow. But you have to flow, and you have to have the faith. Nobody can do it for you. You really have to take a leap of faith on this path. And the moment, if you even have a little doubt, you cannot take the leap. You cannot. It can't be small. The leap is, whoa, it's a big leap. Okay? So with that, we'll finish today's talk.